Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a new video, right? And this video will probably be titled like, these Switch 2 updates are insane or something like that. And I do think these updates are pretty insane. Some of these updates are insane in a good way, but I think some of them are actually insane in a bad way. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. So we have a pretty interesting video today, but first I have to say something. Do you see this hat right here? Kind of looks like a Mario typical Nintendo hat, right? But if you look on the side, this is the Seattle Mariners logo. And the only way you were able to get this hat is during Mario Day this year. You went to a Seattle Mariners game and they were giving out these hats. Yeah, obviously I didn't go do that. One of my amazing subscribers remembered how I talked about that Nintendo was doing this for Mario Day, and they happened to move to Washington like that day or that week or whatever. They went there, got this hat, then came home and messaged me on Instagram and asked me, do I want this hat? They want to send it to me because they're just big supporters. And obviously I said yes. So thank you, as well as your husband. I think you said your husband got you some tape for the package. You're incredible. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This hat is amazing. It means a lot to me. So I just wanted to give them their flowers because that's just incredible. But we have a very interesting video. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep our amazing communities growing. And let's start by talking about Metroid Prime 4. So we actually have a few Metroid Prime 4 updates. And yeah, I think these are all pretty positive. Now, we know this game is coming out Thursday. That sounds crazy, right? Metroid Prime 4 is finally coming out on Thursday. Quickly, I just want to recap what it took to get here. June of 2017, Metroid Prime 4 was announced. February of 2018, it was confirmed to be developed by Bandai Namco. January of 2019, they announced development had been restarted under Retro Studios. June 18th of 2024, we finally got the full title, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and September 12th of this year, we got the official release date, which is December 4th. So just hearing all of that, if you've never played any of these Metroid Prime games, and you wonder why everybody's so damn excited, that's why. It felt like this day was never going to come. Now, one cool update we have is coming directly from Nintendo. So maybe you thought, well, I've never played any of the Metroid Prime games, and I guess there's actually 5 of them. Metroid Prime 1, 2, 3, and then a DS version, and then something else on the 3DS. I'll be honest, I haven't played any of those. I've only played the first one. But Metroid Prime 4 Beyond begins a new story. So even if you haven't played previous titles in the series, you'll still be able to enjoy this, and I think that is fantastic. But I also think, and I'm kind of echoing something I read, but I also think if it's a brand new story, why call it Metroid Prime 4? Why not just call it Metroid Beyond? You know what I mean? Like, drop the Prime from the title. But then somebody was saying maybe they said Prime so you know what kind of gameplay you're getting. You know it's not a 2D Metroid game or something new entirely. So I think that's a fair point, right? Now we know there has been demos at kiosk, at Walmart, Best Buy, Target, all that good stuff. And I actually went to Walmart yesterday and I seen the demo there. But I thought, I'm like a week away from this game coming out. At this point, do I want to play the first 20 minutes of the game, which is what I believe it is? Do I want my first 20 minutes of this game to be experienced on a kiosk standing up at Walmart or from the comfort of my own home? So, you know, it's just a personal thing, but I'm personally not going to play the demo. I'm just going to wait until the game comes out. I'm very, very excited for this one. But there is something that, you know, and it's kind of being extra sometimes, but it's something that's thrown me off a little bit. And it was seeing the hands-on gameplay, that whole companion thing. And maybe that's for new people getting into the game or new to the series or whatever. So I understand it, but I'm not too happy about it. But you know, games get out early, right? These games are already at the retail places, and some of them get out early. So somebody over on Reddit already has the game. They've shown proof that they have this game, and they've gave us a couple updates. So I'm going to talk about them quickly. They're not so much spoilers, but maybe you want to skip this part, and I understand that. So I'll be talking about this for like the next minute. A user who claims to have gotten an early Metroid Prime 4 copy from a store states a controversial Miles McKenzie character comes up very seldomly outside the first section, but is not tutorial exclusive, and that the game is awesome. Now that does sound cool, right? We're not gonna have to deal with them that much, but that's actually not the case, or it is, but not quite. because the reason why we're not dealing with them later is because they are replaced by other NPCs who join you in your missions. So maybe these NPCs aren't as annoying, maybe they are. I guess it's cool we're not dealing with the same NPC over and over, so it switches it up a little bit. I'm still not too happy about having any companion at all. I think Metroid, like Zelda, yes, they're adventure games, but they're almost more puzzle games than anything, and it's nice to be able to solve those puzzles on your own. So I'm sure it's not anything that's going to turn you off to the game entirely, but I'm hearing so much stuff about this game, so hopefully your reviews will be going up any day now. If not, I'm sure on Wednesday, we have streamers playing it, so reviews will probably be out then, but I cannot wait to play this game. Now that kind of segues into this next segment, I'm kind of reaching here, but Bandai Namco was originally developing Metroid Prime 4. That was for about a year or whatever. I heard Metroid Prime 4 actually took like $100 million to develop because it was developed twice or kind of twice. That's besides the point, but we're talking about Bandai Namco because Nintendo just bought Bandai Namco. Well, not technically. Nintendo has entered an agreement with Bandai Namco to buy out all the shares of its Bandai Namco Singapore development studio, and this will take effect in spring of 2026. This is a pretty substantial thing because it's another studio that's now under Nintendo that will be developing in-house. And we know Nintendo uses Bandai Namco all the time to develop games. So it's not like this is something completely new that we're not familiar with, but I think this is a fantastic thing. Obviously, PlayStation and Xbox acquire studios all the time, but for instance, Xbox has acquired 1 billion studios and barely has games coming out. It's not going to be the same case with Nintendo at all. I guess Bandai Namco Singapore has helped on like 1 million projects, but games they've developed themselves is Splatoon 3 with help from Nintendo EPD. They developed Soul Calibur 6, Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, and Taiko no Taijutsu VR Festival, which I think is that like little drum game, rhythm game or whatever. This is great to hear and a very exciting update. Now obviously the big game coming out this week is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, right? That is going to overshadow anything else that's coming out on the Switch too. But there is another game which I'm not going to be picking up, but I think it's cool that it's on the Switch too, and that is Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I think that actually comes out tomorrow if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to check out this hands-on gameplay, but then I learned something from this hands-on gameplay that is actually Nintendo's fault, and I think Nintendo has a big shortcoming this generation. So this is a video I found over on Reddit of somebody playing the game early. That's cool, right? Same thing as Metroid Prime 4 being out there early. This game is out there early. Somebody in the comments pointed it out, and now I cannot stop thinking about this. We know the Switch 2 is a pretty big damn console. Look how big these people's hands are, or look how big they look compared to the Switch 2. I personally have massive hands, and I don't think my hands look like that compared to the Switch 2. They're making it look like the Switch Lite. That's besides the point, okay? The gameplay looks good. I won't say great, but it looks good. More than passable. The screen does not look great, but there's an issue, even me, when I record my screen. It always looks way better in person, the colors look better, but the game looks more than playable. So, very cool stuff. I'm assuming we will get other Assassin's Creed games as time goes on, like the ones we all missed, but I learned something. This game could look better though. And the reason why I say that is Ubisoft recently said that Assassin's Creed Shadows doesn't use RTGI, which is ray tracing something or another. I don't even know what the hell it stands for, but I know it's ray tracing involved, right? And the reason why they don't is because there's not enough RAM on the Switch 2. And the reason why there is not enough RAM on the Switch 2, which I believe has 12 gigabytes of RAM, that is because the operating system of the Switch 2 uses 3 gigabytes of RAM, or has 3 gigabytes of RAM reserved. And a significant portion of that is for game chat. If you're using game chat every single day, I'm happy for you, right? I do think the feature is cool. I'm not a game chat hater. I have not used it a single time. I've pressed the button a million damn times because it's right by the home menu, which makes no sense. But I digress. 3 gigabytes of RAM reserved for the operating system. Could you imagine how much more games could be polished and optimized and just look and run better if we had just 2 more gigabytes of RAM? And I know that sounds crazy, 2 gigabytes of RAM? Dude, that is a lot, especially on these tablet handheld devices. Somebody in the comments made a really cool observation, and they were saying it would be really cool if games could disable the game chat to free up that extra RAM. The same way some games will disable recording clips, which I think like Square Enix games or something, I can't remember. Some games will not let you record. And I guess they do that to free up extra RAM, which, this is news to me. I didn't know that. It's very interesting. So if some games could disable game chat, maybe first-party adventure games that you're not going to be using game chat for, or it wouldn't make sense to use them, and then free up that RAM, maybe this is a cool workaround. Maybe this is something we'll see in the future. But I just think 3 gigabytes of RAM for the operating system and a majority of it being used for game chat is a big shortcoming. Because I think even 2 gigabytes of RAM would make a big difference in some of these big third-party ports. But, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So, in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, do me a favor, hit a like and subscribe. Follow your boy on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep these communities growing. And consider becoming a channel member. I'm going to be doing like 10 giveaways during the month of December for my members. So be on the lookout for those. They might even start tomorrow. And you guys know me. I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.